Hey everybody, what's happening? Sammy the Thrifty Brewer here, and happy Homebrew Wednesday. It's actually Friday. I got the day off. Apologize about the lights. Someone's going to pay some bills. So, actually Friday took the day off. I actually took Monday off as well next week, so it's Friday. Got the house to myself, just brewing up a Galaxy Pale Ale. I got 65.4% of two-row, and I've got 32.1% of Munich, and 2.6% of Crystal 120, with 14 grams added at 60, 14 grams added at 15, 14 grams with a Warflock added at 10, and 14 grams added at 5, and finally 28 grams added for a 30-minute steep in the whirlpool. Now, I've been having some efficiency issues lately, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that. Now, I use my STC 1000 to heat up my mash water and my sparge water, and I noticed something really different. Now, it all depends on where you place the probe, as naughty as that sounds. Watch this shit. So the probe is here at the top, okay, and it's 64.8 degrees, and I'm going to drop it down there. Cool! And see how the temperature's dropping? That's at the bottom of the pot now. It's going to keep going down. It's going to keep going down. So you get the idea, okay? So I'm going to move the probe back up to the top, and the temperature should rise greatly. Well, not greatly, because it's still heating up, but like that's well over a full degree, if not 2, and in some cases 4 or 5, because the STC overshoots the final temperature by about 3 to 4 degrees. Usually between 3 to 5 degrees on average. So what I have done in the past is I haven't double checked my water temperature before adding it to sparge or adding it to mash. I was taking the reading of the STC as gospel. I let it cool down to where it read to my desired sparge temp and my desired mash temp, but I wasn't double checking the temperature. I was just adding it in. So you can imagine if you're doing a full bodied beer, okay, and you're sparging at a higher temperature, and you're putting in your mash water at a higher temp, you're taking your temperature reading in the mash time, and you've overshot your mash by 5 degrees. Crap. So you're stirring and you're stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring to bring your mash temp down to your desired range. But in the process of adding overheated water, you've already minimized the final and total efficiency of the mash, I believe. Now, second to that, when you're sparging, I'm going to be sparging today at 75.6 degrees Celsius. And what I used to do, like I said, I used to take the reading on the STC right there as gospel. But the temperature is completely off because there's a huge thermal variation between the bottom of the pot and the top of the pot. And I discovered this purely by accident today. I moved the probe of the STC up to the top of the pot, and I watched the temperature on the STC display shoot up by about 5 or 6 degrees. So I left the probe in there, I turned off the heating element to the STC, and gave it a really good stir till I had reached my desired mash temp. I then took that water, put in the old mash tunny poo of doom here, and hit my mash numbers, my mash temperature bang on. So, like, I've been well below. In some beers, I've been down like 10, 15 points, which is a huge variable. Huge. So what I've done is I'm hoping that I had minimized any potential, variances and inefficiencies with that. And I just really wanted to talk to you guys about that and sort of pass that information along. So those of you guys that use an STC 1000 and your heating elements on the bottom of the pot, you are definitely going to have a thermal variance between the bottom and the top. Top being hotter than the bottom. Obviously, normal convection, you got your heating elements in the bottom, it's going to move the hot water up, it's going to eventually recirculate down. But if it doesn't have a full time to run that cycle, you're going to have a temperature variance of, in my case, upwards of like 8, 9, in some cases 10 degrees, I would imagine. But I'm just thinking back over some of my brews and how off the numbers have been. I can remember standing over a mash tun and stirring for like 10, 15 minutes to bring it down to temperature for mash. But if I've already added water that's way over the magic sweet spot for the enzymatic process to happen, I may have already done irreparable damage. And the beers have shown that based on final gravities. So this beer I'm shooting for 5.3 ABV final alcohol by volume of 5.3. My estimated original gravity I'm shooting for 10.50. My pre-boil gravity I am shooting for measure. Yeah, see, that's wrong. I got to figure out what my pre-boil gravity is going to be, and I'll let you guys know what that is in a little bit. But yeah, I thought that was kind of neat. So I guess the rule of thumb is always double check your water temperature before you put it in with a secondary source. I mean, the STC is good. I've got a half a degree variance plus minus factored into this, but with these elements, only a 1500 watt kettle element, they do overshoot a lot, guaranteed. So I use one of these as a backup, and some professional brewers in England who brew by a river that's very, very idle, have spent up to £100 on getting a thermometer that's accurate to 1/10 of a degree. I don't have that kind of money, so I'm going to use what I have. But yeah, if I can cut down any sort of variables and any sort of variances that will negatively impact my efficiency, I'm all about it. Because this is basically a beer. It's going to be the last pale ale I do of the year, probably, of the summer anyways, because it is the end of August. And it's just all straight Galaxy. I'm using up the last of my 2-row, the last of my Munich, and the last of my 120. Threw the 120 in because I like the little bit of, residual sugary sweetness it gives. And it's going to darken it up just a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to come back to you guys when I've got some numbers to tell you about that Beersmith is, because I stupidly didn't write them down on the brew sheet. Alright, so we'll be back in a bit. Cheers, you guys. Take care. All the best. We'll be back. Cheers. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Okay, so my pre-boil volume, I was shooting for 1043 at 28.02 liters. Ended up at 1040 at 28.5 liters. So I think we may have found a partial solution to our problem. Obviously, I'm having some inefficiency issues. Combine that with the grain mill. Still struggling with that. You get what you pay for, 114 bucks online, and it works, but I have to do a double grind, or a double mill, if you will. That may be the issue, but we're definitely getting closer. But I mean, 1040 at 28.5 liters, I'm really, really pleased with. If I would have stayed closer to the 28 liters, I probably would have ended up with like 1041 possibly. So overly, it's got things getting ready to the boil. Everything's in there. Got the hops all weighed out. Like I said, 14 grams of Galaxy at 60, 14 grams of Galaxy at 15, 14 grams of Galaxy at 10 with the Warflock edition, 14 grams of Galaxy as well at 5 minutes, and then finally 28 grams of Galaxy at deep in whirlpool for a 30-minute swimmy poo, if you will. So yeah, we'll come back to this when we've got the boil going on, and but yeah. And what I am going to do though, actually, I'm going to add a ball valve to the bottom of my boil pot here, because the electric brewery is on hold for a little bit, obviously based on finances, etc, etc, etc. But I'm going to add a ball valve here because I used my chugger pump for my recirculation, and I'd really like to be able to use my chugger pump for my sparging as well. And I'm going to mount it. I'm going to mount it somewhere over here. So there's going to be some brewery improvements coming along, because I did use the chugger pump when I was doing full brew in the bag with recirculation mash all the time, and it works really, really well. But to be honest, I find it a little bit awkward. So we're going to dial some stuff in, and we're going to improve the brewing process. But yeah, as you can see, you can't smell. It smells great. But as you can see, we're getting close to the hot break. And I got the fan going on. Nice quiet house. Got the tunes cranked upstairs. It's a really nice, relaxing brew day. So yeah, I've got a couple of ball valves here I'm going to use, and probably just going to fit it with that quick disconnect fitting there. And that will allow me to use the existing silicone hose I have. But we'll shoot another video of that, and we'll get her dialed. Anyways, you guys, we'll be back when we've got a little bit of a boil going on and some hoppage. This is what it's all about. Friday brew day. And tomorrow's going to be cleaning up the brewery, because as you can see, it is a stinking mess. I got some stuff to clear out over here. Oh, computer parts, you know, drills, electric parts. I got a crap load of growlers over there. Got another keg over there. Got to organize everything and get stuff dialed in, because I'm going to do another brew probably next weekend, hopefully with Nick from Hitman's Brew House. He'll hopefully join in, and we'll do an online brew day, which would be really cool, because I miss the guy like a son of a gun. Anyways, you guys, we'll be back when we got stuff happening. Cheers. Be back in a bit. Yeah, I know. I said I was going to come back with the camera when I had the hops going in, but I completely forgot about it, so my apologies. Anyways, brew day is done. Just got some cleanup left to do. And we ended up with 22 liters, which was the estimated final volume, and at 1047. So basically those 3 points of inefficiency carried forward. So a little bit more work to do to hit the numbers exactly, but you know what? 3/10 is I'll take. So I'm quite pleased. So I just got that sitting in with the Angry Stout right now. Just pitched the yeast. We'll check on that when things are bubbling along. Now the Angry Stout, that was 1062, and that was done on August the 9th. So gonna have to probably either keg that, or you know, I might just leave that go for a little bit longer. Just a little bit of activity to it. And yeah. So anyways, you guys, I can't reiterate enough the importance of double checking your temperatures, because that has been plaguing me for months, even years, ever since I started to go to all grain. So yeah, always have a backup thermometer, always have a backup of a backup of your thermometer. Don't rely on the STC 1000. You can calibrate them, but you know, you almost have to go by law of best averages with the average temperatures between the 2 or 3 and go from there. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with my results. So yeah, 1047 at 22 liters. And I was shooting for a final volume of 22 liters at 1050. So 1047 off of 1050, I'll take it. Anyways, you guys, this is Sammy the Thrifty Brewer saying, if you're going to do something, please do it with a homebrew. And by all means, keep calm and brew on. Please be sure to like, subscribe, thumb up the video, and share it. Get it out there. And by all means, please check out the links of the guys that I have listed down below, because they do a lot cooler stuff than I do. Anyways, you guys, thanks so much for watching. Cheers. All the best. Please be safe. Cheers.